So, welcome back, everyone. I hope you managed to find a time to grab a coffee and recharge somewhat. And it's now my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Congresswoman McMorris Rodgers. The Congresswoman is ranking member of the Consumer Protection and Commerce Subcommittee within the House Committee on Energy and Commerce. And we're delighted that you've been able to join us today. So, Congresswoman, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to be with all of you today, virtually at least, to talk about the latest on data privacy. I am the ranking Republican. I'm the lead Republican on the subcommittee for Consumer Protection and Commerce on the Energy and Commerce Committee in the House. And my goal is to lead a free market, pro-consumer agenda around artificial intelligence, quantum computing, blockchain, autonomous vehicles, and other emerging technologies. These are life-changing, life-improving solutions, and they will transform our global economy. They will raise our standard of living, and they will create more jobs. In order for America to win the future in these emerging technologies and achieve these goals, it's critical that we build trust in data privacy, and that data privacy is protected. For this entire Congress, I've been talking about 4 principles around data privacy that I think really highlight my goals and what I believe should be a part of any legislation. First, it is a national standard. I believe in order for startups to flourish and for people to really trust that their data is being protected no matter where they go, that we need that national standard. Second is to promote transparency and to only target the practices that have caused harm. Third is to incentivize innovative solutions for data security that will keep up with the bad actors. And fourth is to make sure that it is workable for small businesses and startups. These principles have served as our starting point. And before coronavirus, we had introduced a draft privacy bill, bipartisan, between myself and the chairwoman of the subcommittee, Jan Schakowsky. We had that staff draft at the end of 2019, and unfortunately, COVID broke out and it has delayed negotiations. I'm hopeful, though, that very soon we can come back to those negotiations, because I think the coronavirus and the health crisis has only underscored the importance of us taking action on data privacy. You think about contact tracing and other applications. Contact tracing is not going to work without widespread adoption. And if people don't trust their privacy is protected, this technology is stuck. In a recent subcommittee hearing, I made this case. We need to build trust in technology that can save lives and empower our economy to reopen. And the best way to build that trust is with a workable national privacy standard. So I am calling on the Democrats to come back to the table to help set those clear standards on how data is being used, stored, and shared. Subcommittee Chair Jan Schakowsky told me in a recent hearing that she wants to work with us. And so we will continue to push, and I'm going to continue to push and lead on a path for a national standard. If we don't act, this is how I see our situation and what is at risk. We will continue to see a patchwork of laws, state laws, being developed that's just going to make it impossible for startups to navigate. Citizens all across this country are going to be left in the dark as far as what privacy standards are in place, what protections, and how that changes from state to state. And for small and medium-sized businesses that are already struggling to survive, they're going to be worried about the crushing impact of CCPA enforcements and frivolous lawsuits. This all will hurt American innovation, and it will hurt our global competitive edge. I also am very concerned about China and the importance of American leadership and really winning the future, and the importance of America's global economic leadership. China is moving ahead, and they're moving ahead with dangerous policies and dangerous practices like unlimited surveillance of its citizens. We see the Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party, is already using data-driven technology to suppress minorities and empower other authoritarian regimes. Unlike China, I believe that America must lead with standards and technologies that uphold human rights, human dignity, and support freedom all around the world. That's the American way, and it really is up to us to lead. I also worry about Europe and GDPR becoming the national standard for privacy. I see it hindering progress and only causing confusion. For example, GDPR has stopped grocers from making timely food deliveries to 1.5 million vulnerable people in self-isolation from coronavirus. It has brought on millions of dollars of compliance costs, and it's forcing small businesses out of the marketplace and giving a larger market share to the big tech companies. This is not the strategy that is going to empower our economy and an economy right now that needs to rebuild. I believe that all of this is why America is uniquely qualified to chart a better course on data privacy. We need a forward-thinking national privacy standard that unleashes innovation and protects consumers. Again, because of the coronavirus, it is urgent more than ever. A national standard is how we build trust in the private sector to keep innovating for decades to come, especially with advancements made possible by artificial intelligence, blockchain, and quantum computing. It's how America wins the future. It's how America will maintain our global competitive edge. And it's how we will encourage the rest of the world to follow our leadership. To close, I want to just share some advice that I often give, and especially because I'm often asked, how do we keep pushing for a national privacy standard? And my advice is that more people, Republicans and Democrats, need to hear why it is so critical to innovation, to privacy protection, and to America's future. So we need to keep that drumbeat going. We need lawmakers to get back to the negotiating table. As this forum has mentioned, this data privacy debate has been re-energized many times. And it's because this patchwork of problems is not going to go away. The vast majority of Americans agree their privacy protections shouldn't change across state lines. Leaders need to be hearing about this, and they need to have more pressure put on them for action. So again, thank you for your work on this. It's my pleasure to join your second annual Data Privacy Conference.
Thank you so much for that intervention, Congresswoman, and it's been a pleasure to have you with us and wonderfully communicated, if I may say so. So thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
During your very busy schedule. Much appreciated.
Good.
Thanks. Moving on now to the second debate of the day, which will cover the Privacy Shield, Schrems 2, and the topic of international data transfers. So a lot to get through in the next session. The session will be starting very shortly, so don't leave your armchairs, and we'll be right back with Dan Caprio from the Providence Group, who will moderate the discussion very shortly. So thank you very much.